Feeling awkward when in public is due to having social anxiety, and it is not normal. So, before we even get into how to defeat social anxiety, we have to know what it is. Social anxiety is a fear of social interaction. And I'm not gonna lie, this is what I was battling for a very, very long time. And it kind of just stems from one tragic incident that you had. And I'm not gonna lie, my incident was getting very embarrassed in, I think it was like early middle school. I was very embarrassed in front of people, and this just plagued my mind constantly. It was always in my mind. I was always trying to avoid having that situation happen again. I'm not gonna lie, in middle school, I had no respect for myself. I'm a completely different person now, and from where I started, it's honestly a crazy difference because I was so quiet. I was so scared to talk. I was like always hunched over trying to take up as little space as possible, trying to be unnoticed. That's what social anxiety causes people to do. And I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty difficult to beat this once you've been going through it for a while. But I'm gonna give you a step-by-step guide on how to do this. So the first thing that you wanna do to defeat social anxiety is you need to level up as a man. Now you might be thinking, how does that correlate with social anxiety? But let me explain to you. Back in the day, we had tribes. And when some guy was, low on the social hierarchy, he was just very useless pretty much, like he didn't really provide anything beneficial. He had no respect, no confidence, nothing. They would kick him out of the tribe because he was basically not needed. So when you are that low of status in the social hierarchy, and I'm not saying you need to be popular in school, I'm saying you need to have a use of yourself. You need to you basically need to level up. You need to, start hitting the gym, start taking care of the way you look. You just basically need to improve yourself as a man. Because if you're low in the tier of men, then you're going to have social anxiety. But if you're high, you're going to know that, you're proud of yourself. You've accomplished a lot, and you're not going to be scared to go talk to people. And now, if you are getting bullied, like what I said in my story, you have two options. You could be a little boy and go snitch. Or, like I said, you can level up as a man so no one wants to mess with you. And if you think you're getting bullied just because, you're in a bad school, whatever, no, it's because, I'm not gonna lie to you, it sounds harsh, you're just not a high level man. When you're a high level man, if you learn how to fight, if you start hitting the gym, you gain some weight, you fill up your frame, no one is going to want to mess with you. But if you're some little nerdy boy like how I was, I was getting like some flabby, fat looking, I don't even want to go fully in detail, but I was just very small and nerdy. I was having no respect for myself. If you're like that, of course you're going to get bullied like me. That's just what happens. The lowest person is always going to get picked on. But if you could become the highest version of yourself, no one will mess with you. The next thing is the spotlight effect. And this is basically when we overestimate how much people think about our negative and positive actions. Now, let me go more in detail to this. This basically means when you are out in social appearances, whatever you're going to, you just have this thought in the back of your mind that everyone is thinking about you. Let's say you enter a room and let's say you're late to class. You think that everyone is thinking about you, when in reality, everyone's stuck up on their own problems. And you might be going through an insecurity. You might have something that, you don't like. And you think every time you go out, you think everyone's just looking at you and thinking about the insecurity, when in reality, they're just thinking about their own insecurities. You have to develop the mindset that you are not the spotlight. No one is truly putting their full attention towards you. And even if one person does, chances are you don't even care about that person. So you shouldn't even worry about it. When we stop having this mindset where everyone thinks about us, we basically break the chains off of us. We begin to feel free, because we're not worried about what this guy's gonna think, what this guy's gonna think. You should just simply not care what anyone thinks, because most of the time they are not thinking about you. The next thing is you have to work on your mindfulness. This is a huge issue, and you might think, again, this does not cause social anxiety, but let me explain to you. We have so many thoughts during the day, and I mean thousands of thoughts. These thoughts can either be good or bad. Most of the time when we have social anxiety, we're letting these dark, negative thoughts creep in, and it is just harassing our minds and making us feel small. I mean, when you go out to public and you're telling yourself like, oh, I hope they don't think this about me, I hope they don't do that, what do you expect is going to happen? You're going to have social anxiety. But you could control it. You could control the thoughts. You need to tell yourself, you know, I'm proud of who I became. I'm a dominant man. And I know it might sound cringe, I'm not gonna lie, but these dark thoughts creep in, and if you don't try to stop them, it's going to keep coming in, and you're going to have social anxiety for the rest of your life. Having a lack of mindfulness will keep you away from being present. When you're in a conversation, people will notice that your brain is just somewhere else. I'm not gonna lie, this happens to me so many times. I talk to someone and it's like they're not even there. They're not even like answering. They're just stuck on their phone, glued to it. That's the first thing that you need to do to become more mindful, is to literally just stay off your phone, like through social media. I'm not gonna lie, you should not be scrolling daily, every like hour. You should not be scrolling a lot, pretty much. You want to stay away from social media. You want to stay away from playing video games, stay away from any stimulation, stay away from anything that's bad, because it'll take your presence away from you. You won't be mindful. And the next way is you need to start meditating. Really focus on your breathing. You know, become aware of your thoughts. That's the problem. A lot of people are not aware of what's going on in their head. But once you become aware, it's so much easier to defeat social anxiety and honestly any type of anxieties. Another great practice is to journal. Really just spill out what you're thinking about and just go deep into this, go into detail. Tell yourself, why is this happening to me? And write down what made this happen, what led up to this. And journaling is very good because you could go fully in detail, spill out all your thoughts. You know, when you keep things in your brain, it's not as detailed. You won't have much awareness of it. But when you spill it down on a notebook, a piece of paper, then you will become aware of it and you will try to solve it. You need to stop leveling up in a video game, level up in your own world. Go outside, embrace the nature that God wanted us to see, instead of staying home, being in a 4-room wall every single day and just scrolling on your phone. Go experience the beauty of life. A reason why so many people have social anxiety is because they have no confidence in themselves. When they enter a room, they're hunched over. They're not giving people eye contact. They're trying to look away. You know, they're just feeling scared. And this honestly just makes you look more like a weirdo. So you should avoid this, because when people see that you're confident and they see that you're like basically like taking up as much space in the room, they're not gonna think that you're some weirdo. They're gonna think that you're like a masculine man, and they're gonna be more drawn into you. They're gonna be more likely to come and talk to you. But if you're like feeling tiny and you're just constantly thinking like, oh, what if they see me, and like whatever it is, then I mean, reality is they're not gonna look at you like a highly valued man. So how do you become more confident in social interactions? So like I said, the first thing, take up as much space, give people eye contact, look up, don't keep your head down, always keep it up. And another great thing is you need to get out of your comfort zone. The more you get out of your comfort zone, the more confidence you're gonna have in social situations. You can start off small. You can start off by trying to have small talk with like a cashier or something, or giving someone a compliment, and then just build up until you're so good in social settings. Because when someone is very good socially, everyone will like them, everyone will want to be next to them, talk to them, be friends with them, whatever it is, and you won't have this social anxiety anymore. Be the guy that when you're in a conversation, you could hold it for so long and make people love you for this. This is a skill, like I said, that's very rare now because everyone is not present. But if you're present and you're just having good conversations, even with like older people, to be honest, like having a conversation with older people is sometimes the best thing because they're not stuck in this social media trap. But like I said, if you just constantly hold good conversations, people will begin to love you. The final advice is you should not be having social anxiety around your friends. You should not be afraid to show your true self. And if that is the case, if you're thinking constantly, like, what are my friends thinking about me? You need new friends. Because when you have a friend that is like a brother to you, you do not go out and think, what is he going to be thinking about me today? You don't care because you know he's going to be with you no matter what. And I'm not saying be with you like the gay way. I'm saying like be your friend no matter what. Now, you also have to be very careful because if your friends are like belittling you and they're making you feel small, that's the reason why you're having social anxiety. So truly be aware of who you're friends with. You just have to be good on not caring what other people think about you. I'm not gonna lie, in middle school, I constantly cared about what others would think about me. And this is why I had social anxiety. This is why I was constantly in this trap of feeling low. But once I became a man who did not care, my confidence went up, my self-respect went up, everything went up. people start to see that. No one noticed me. I was a nobody in school until they saw that confidence in me. And I'm not gonna I didn't become popular, but they knew who I was. They knew that, like he's a high valued man. And I know, again, this whole thing just sounds cringe, but if you want to become a higher status, if you want to become a man who commands the respect of others, then you have to just not care about what other people think. And social anxiety will just lower your masculinity. When you're masculine, you don't have social anxiety. So I really hope this helped you guys, and I hope you guys could defeat social anxiety just like how I did. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. See ya.